Last night, I heard something that stopped me in my tracks, and it was honestly so what I needed. It's this equation. Sounds nerdy, but stick with me. It's from Dave Ramsey, and it makes so much sense. It goes like this: focused intensity over time multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. Duh, right? I think seeing it laid out in a math equation just kind of changed it for me because literally it's math. Like, how do you argue with math? I know there's going to be someone out there who says you can. I have tried to move the equation around and move things here, put unstoppable momentum under here times time, which you can't multiply, and it ends up looking like a mumbo jumbo mess. So let's get into this. The first part, focused intensity. I love that because how often do we try to do everything and do nothing? Or try to do everything and get nowhere? I'm looking at you, entrepreneurs. So it reminded me that it's all about doing things that will move the needle. Not doing everything, but doing a select few things. And I think our job is to determine what those few things are. And that's really the hard part. Progress is not about doing more, but about doing less with focused intensity in all that I've got. Okay, the next part, time plus trust the process. I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but I have definitely looked at something and been like, okay, I did this. Why is it not growing? Why is it not there yet? I don't see anything. I don't see the fruit. It's been like 5 minutes. And I'm going to look this up right now, but I think it takes most fruit trees an average of a couple years to bear fruit. I mean, that's a couple years of waiting. How long does it take for an apple tree to bear fruit? Let's see. Oh, generally ranges from 2 to 10 years. I know that we live in the age of virality and things can happen overnight, but I'm talking about long-term life progress. That takes time. This time part, so many times, so many of us try to zoom past it. I know I do. So this was such a reminder that we cannot bypass the time. Sometimes you show up, you give it your all, you give it focused intensity, and it feels like nothing is happening. You water the seed, but it's just dirt, some more dirt. But what if the roots are growing? What if you just can't see it yet? What if the breakthrough is right around the corner? So that's what this part of the equation reminded me of. Trust the process. Give the time over to God. And this part really gets fun. Focus intensity over time multiplied by God, because our God is a God of multiplication, not addition or subtraction. When the Lord steps in, that's that 100-fold blessing, the 30, 60, 100-fold. I mean, whatever you're doing, God can 10, not even 10x. Okay, it starts at 30x it overnight. And this is such a reminder. You could do everything right. Be focused, consistent, locked in. But if you're doing it all on your own, you'll burn out. So focus intensity over time multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. How good does that sound? But you want to know something really interesting that I thought of? Also, how scary can that be? Unstoppable momentum can be great, but it can also be terrifying. I mean, think about going in a car 150, 200 miles an hour. I'd be a little scared. And I was looking at this equation and I kind of thought, wow, that's actually such a grace of the Lord that he doesn't step in to multiply what we're doing until the time is right, until we've gone through that refining process. Because when God steps in, if we're not prepared for that, whoa, that could be devastating for us. We wouldn't be able to handle it. So I found that very interesting that God waits for us to be focused, be intentional. He gives it time for that pruning and refining process where we don't see the work bearing fruit and yet we continue. And then he comes in and multiplies it. And that equals unstoppable momentum. And at that point, when our character is solid in the Lord, when we have put in the time, we can withstand the challenges that come at that new place. So if you're in a slow season or maybe a building season, when you've watered the plant, when you've showed up fully and consistently and you still don't see the fruit, give it some time, trust the process, trust God, and the time will come. The fruit will come.